like that, and the ball used to just come out slowly. So basically what the bowler's trying to do is deceive the batsman as much as possible. Now let's have a look at Craig in action doing that. What makes a fast bowler? Generally, a fast bowler is very supple. The West Indians are naturally so, while Alan Donald can place his hands 23 centimetres past his toes with his legs straight. What all great fast bowlers have is a controlled run-up, and although some actions will differ, they are generating all the necessary force used to propel the ball towards its target. We're now going to show you a method to teach a young fast bowler his first run-up. The important thing now to remember is that we're going to use the bowling crease here as his run-up, as though he was out in the outfield. So in other words, we want him to start with the correct foot each time. It doesn't matter whether it's right or left, that's immaterial. Okay, so he starts from there, and he runs out into the void of the outfield and bowls when he feels like it. Okay, so I'm going to ask Craig to hit that line with the same foot every time. Okay, Craig, off you go. Nice even stride pattern, bowls when he feels like it, and I'm going to mark where his front foot landed. So his front foot landed here. Now I've got to take an estimate of where the bowling crease is going to be. Remember, if I get the estimate wrong, Craig's going to bowl no balls. Okay, so I step back, hopefully about 4 feet, which is the distance, and then I put another marker there, and Craig is actually going to now count how many steps it takes from the imaginary bowling crease in the void back to the actual bowling crease. Okay, started with the right foot, 5, 6, 7, and 15 paces. Okay, so that for Craig is the ideal run-up for him. Now if you don't get it right, or you get your rhythm wrong, you take a shorter stride pattern or a larger stride pattern, then this calculation can go wrong. So it's important that you make sure that your rhythm is right, your stride pattern is the same all the time, and you feel good when you bowl. And good luck to all your quick bowlers. Craig, your captain's just signalled to you, you've got 2 overs to go before you come on. What goes through your mind?
Well, I suppose in the beginning a bit of nervousness and then excitement, and then try and prepare yourself as best as you can for the job. First thing I would be looking to do is get as warm as I can, within reason, without running around the boundary too much, but just warm up all the major muscle groups, particularly hamstrings and what have you. Once I'm in that position, start concentrating on the sort of line and length I'll be looking to try and bowl. I know the guys who are not out at the moment, and I'll be looking at weaknesses and how I'm attempting to bowl to them.
Your run-up, how important is that to you?
I think it's a vital part of bowling. It's the lead into your delivery stride and your action and all that sort of thing. It's important that you build up a good rhythm so that you reach the crease at the optimum and most effective speed to bowl with your particular type of action.
Tell me, you've got a batsman at the wicket who's looking very much an onside player. What type of delivery would you bowl to him?
Well, obviously your line and length changes to that particular type of batsman. I'd look to try and swing it away from them in order to get them to pick the line as being quite straight, look to play on the onside, and if it swings, the chances are he could nick it to the keeper or the slips.
There's lots of ways of swinging the ball these days. What's the sort of conventional method?
The conventional method is with obviously the away swing grip, but the vital part of it is to get the shiny side as shiny as you possibly can. Yeah. And that takes quite a lot of work.
Right, and so how would you do that?
Well, hopefully the rest of the bowlers have shined the ball really well when I get it, but the first thing that I do is to try and get any little grass cuttings or turf that might have been caught in the ball, to get that off and get a proper surface there to shine, and then to work really hard and shine quite vigorously on your paints, yeah.
What method do you clean it with? I mean, do you sweat, spit, or both?
I use a bit of both, but mainly I use spit because I feel that I can control it a bit better just on my fingertips. When I tend to put a whole lot of sweat on it, maybe make the ball a bit damp, and I don't really want that.
It's interesting. So now you've got the situation where the batsman's in, and he's a big front footer. He's really lunging at you, he's covering that swing and seam that you've got. What are you going to do to get him onto the back foot?
Well, I think it's vitally important in order to be effective that you maybe sometimes plan to get a batsman out over a number of overs. In that situation where maybe it's not swinging as much as you would like it, what have you, guy's a good front foot player, the idea would be to push him back onto the back foot in order to maybe catch him on the crease and get him out LBW or caught behind when his feet don't move so well in subsequent balls after that. But it would take a bit of planning, maybe banging it in, 1 or 2 bounces to keep him on the back foot so that he's not lunging forward like that, and then getting the ball in the perfect place, line and length. He doesn't get quite as far forward as he should be, and maybe you can trap him LBW or get him caught behind.
Right. Now, how important is your field to you as a bowler?
I don't think you can emphasize enough that you must be comfortable with your field placing at any particular time that you're bowling. And I think it's important for particularly young bowlers to know what is a good field for them, the way they bowl, to get the people in the right places.
What about use of the crease to change the line for the batsman? Do you favour that?
Very much so. I think any type of variation on a good flat wicket when people look set to be getting big scores in terms of using variation of pace. But to use a variation of angle is very important. And to possibly, as I said earlier, that you need to plan to get people out. Sometimes you need to run in and bowl very close to the wicket for a few balls and then come from wide, and the change of angle might upset the batsman.
Do you have any set plan, 3 balls of one and 4 or one of the other, or 4 and 1, or do you change that during a spell?
I'd like to change it during a spell. You wouldn't want it to become too obvious that you bowl 3 balls from close and 1 from a wide. From wide of the crease rather. So for particularly a batsman, maybe it'll take a whole over of bowling from close and then the next over from bowling from wide. So that's just got to be judged by the situation.
Yeah, and do you look to get the batsman driving, cover the offside, get him driving and then bowl a slow ball and hope you miscues it?
That is one of the plans that players use at the top level, I think, to get people confident and feel they're well in and well set, and then you slip in the slow ball and hopefully they fancy it and have a drive at it.
Yeah. If you had an advice for a young quick bowler just starting out in his career, what would it be?
Oh, there's so much to it, but the first things you need to do if you want to be a successful fast bowler is to get very fit and strong. I can't emphasize that enough. There are no shortcuts to success. And then I think, particularly for myself, is to practice and bowl a lot. I don't think you can bowl too much as a young guy. You've got to get stuck in and get in the nets and bowl a lot of balls, and that'll make you successful.
So there you have it from the horse's mouth. One of the best fast bowlers in South Africa. He's worked very hard at his game, and if you want to be a fast bowler too, you've got to be prepared to put in some really hard work. And for those of you who want to do that, I wish you the best of luck. One of the great skills of cricket is the art of spin bowling. We're very fortunate today to have with us Pat Simcox, the South African off-spinner. And we're going to deal with off-spin first. We'll come back to Pat in a minute. We're going to ask the youngsters here how they hold the ball for off-spin bowling. Can we all have a look, guys, just how you hold the ball for off-spin bowling? Okay. Right, let's have a look at the way that these guys, all who are off-spinners, got into that position in terms of grip. Okay. Let's have them all copy me. First of all, let's hold the ball, the seam down, parallel to our bodies. Okay, let's have a look. Well done. Okay, let's take the first 2 fingers of our spinning hand and let's push them down onto the ball, creating a lot of purchase so the ball doesn't slip out. Can we all do that, guys? That's it. Now, let's fold the hand round the ball, okay, so that the thumb joins the first finger. And let's feel, okay, the pressure on the first finger, on here, and on here, and so on. Okay, that's good, guys. Now, from there, we actually have to spin the ball, okay, like opening a door. Okay, let's open the doorknob like that, and really spin. Now, as we do that, okay, the finger is going to create the spinning of the seam. Okay, watch. See how my finger spins the ball out. Okay, so that's it. You can all try that. Okay, so that's really what we're trying to do. Right, let's see the grip again. Make sure the fingers go down onto the ball, onto the seam, so we create pressure on the first finger. Fold the hand over, okay, so the thumb runs up to join the first finger. Make sure that the pressure's on that finger, because that's the one that's going to create the turn, as you can see from there. Okay, that's good. Let's just try that, guys. That's brilliant. Okay, right, Pat, that's the orthodox grip. You've got your own style, I'm sure, after 20 years of spinning the ball. Let's have a look at yours, and guys, let's just check him out.
Right, Bob, I started the same way, by having the same technique. But obviously, as you say, through years, my fingers have expanded. And I now have a much wider grip on the ball. And so, I don't come in at that angle down. I really just put my hand around the ball there, and I've got a